Oh, let's do it. Listen, I'm the world's leading expert on talking about it because nobody else wants to talk about it. So let's get into it. Caitlin Clark, my part two prediction. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, Caitlin Clark is going to win a championship, and I think it won't even be a fucking sweat. Listen, some of you guys are gonna laugh at me. You're gonna say, "Oh, there's no way she could win a championship." Listen, let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something, guys. Listen, I'm an athlete, and as an athlete, I understand the human condition, the human body, and the physiology of us, because I was also a biologist. And Caitlin Clark is guaranteed to almost win this championship. And if she does, it's going to be a fucking super close one. But I'm almost 100% positive she's going to win. And here's why. So if you watched my last video, I explained how Angel Reese is definitely going to win a Rookie of the Year. And when that announcement gets made, it's going to do two things. One, it's going to piss Caitlin off. It's going to piss Caitlin off even more than she's already pissed the fuck off. And two, it's going to demoralize the league because they're going to start hounding the WNBA. They're going to be pundits like just hounding the WNBA. The morality of the league outside of the Indiana Fever is going to be... And guess what? The Indiana Fever, you're never going to see a more fired up team that's motivated to play. Because first of all, they already been counted out. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. They didn't play that well in the beginning of the season. But once again, for those who don't understand basketball, they were playing by a playbook. Caitlin Clark doesn't need a playbook because she did something called play with guys when she was young. See, one of the things you got to understand about the physicality of guys when you're playing with guys is that on a distribution level, for the most part, when you're playing with dudes, they're all kind of virtually even. We're all like fast jumping, and strategy becomes more of a utilization because one supreme athlete can't overrule the entire game. It just doesn't work that way. And then especially in Iowa, because I'm not trying to say bad about Iowa, but I don't think Iowa's breeding the best like hoopers, guys-wise. So women-wise and guys-wise, as like young kids, they're kind of equal on the playing ground. Because it's not like she's playing in Chicago where you got fucking Derrick Rose dunking, or you got a LeBron James in Ohio in the poverty-stricken areas. Like Caitlin Clark grew up in a pretty decent middle-class, either higher upper middle-class area. Which means those kids are not fucking athletes because most athletes don't come from middle class, higher class households. They just don't. Most of the best athletes come from poverty-stricken areas. But that's an entire topic for another day about how poverty makes you the greatest athletes. So Caitlin learned strategy in sports, angles, fundamentals, all those things very quickly because she had to learn how to do that because physically she can't compete with the guys. Like there's a section where they're kind of even, and then eventually it gets to a point where like there's a acceleration where the guys get so much more physical that even if you are really good as a girl, you can't compete with guys. Like it's just not gonna happen. And this could be a testimony or any witnesses that have played basketball, pick up basketball, and you had a girl play. The guys, we have to basically let her like shoot. We can't really like guard her because if we want to, she'll never get a bucket. We'd steal the ball from her. It wouldn't be fair. But that experience gave her the ability to learn how to play fundamentals, angles, understand how to really be a savant of the game because she has to make herself useful on the court. If not, the guy's not going to let her play. Because guys, here's the thing with guys. We don't care who plays as long as you know how to play. And you make the game fun and we can all use you within the system, within the team. But if you're just a useless player, dude, guys don't want to play with you. But so clearly, if guys are playing with her, they're like, look, we got to respect her because she knows what she's doing out there. Like, she might not be fastest, but she's making good passes. She's getting angles. She's doing things right. This brings me to my next point. As I stated before, Caitlin Clark is by far the greatest hooper to ever exist on a relative scale. For all you dum-dums, I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA. I'm saying relative to her field and her peers, she is much better. And this was proven in the All-Star game. If anybody got a chance to watch the All-Star game, Caitlin Clark was dogging them vets. Dogging. She was a star. She was a star. It was undeniable. And even Angel Reese says, me and we're gonna play together. We're gonna play together someday. No, you're not. But that's my third part. We're gonna get to that one. But let's stay with the topic why Caitlin Clark's gonna win a championship. And I think it might be easy. I don't think it's gonna be a fucking chance of them losing. I think they might sweep the field to keep it 100. Caitlin Clark got snubbed in the Olympics. Now, to some of you guys, I thought, man, that's fucked up, man. But guess what? The Lord blesses those with mistakes, like when things go bad in your life, you gotta look at it as a blessing. And when she said they woke up a beast, they woke up a beast. Now the coach, she gave a little insight because I don't know if you guys know, but that's no, I'm gonna say that for the third video. Caitlyn during that break got a chance to recharge, heal up, refocus on her game, strategize, practice with her teammates, because that's the key element is the practice time. See, what a lot of you guys don't understand about most of these WNBA players is that they play year round. They play in the WNBA and then they go overseas and play in Europe. They rarely have time to actually play with other girls that they've actually been playing with on a team. There's no cohesive unit really in the WNBA because they play with such various different players. See, like in the NBA, these guys play 82 games a season long. They all play together, they practice, and so they build a continuity because they're practicing during the season and then off season. Like they live like bros. That's why the KD fucking what you call it? The Steph Curry Golden State Warriors, why they were so lethal because that unit stuck together for so fucking long. So they all know each other. They know what to do. They know how to read each other without even making plays. I'm almost surprised that Steve Kerr and Mark Jackson was so-so. But Steve Kerr didn't really have to coach. All you do is sit there and say, go out there and play, boys. Okay, we got to drop a play just to make this thing. But for the most part, they were just playing pickup ball with each other because they're so familiar with each other's games. It's just they're code reading signals. Caitlin Clark probably organized practices, told the girls to recharge, practice, and was able to get the team better, more cohesive so they can understand how to play together. Because once again, the coach for the Fever had a playbook because most of the time they have to have playbooks for these girls because they're not actually playing all year round. They don't know each other's games like that. So Caitlin's like, look, scrap the playbook because I never need a playbook in Iowa. I just know how to play. I'm like LeBron James mentally. Shout out to my brother. I'm like LeBron James mentally. I just see the game. I don't need the fucking play. I can just figure out where you guys are going to sit, find open space. I'll get the ball to you because they're going to send double teams and triple teams to me all day because they don't have actually real defensive stoppers in the WNBA. Because if they did, you would know who they are. But once again, the WNBA sits in obscurity and nobody knows who the defensive stoppers are anyway. Because most of the girls are focused on being cute and rolling their little pants up and doing that weird thing. Now, on the side note, the double-edged sword of the Olympics for I guess you would say the Las Vegas, I don't even know what the fucking name is, the Las Vegas team. Everybody's talking about how Aja Wilson is so great. Let me explain something to you about Aja Wilson. She is playing with 4 other Olympians. 4. She is playing with 4 other Olympians. Which means the great part of her team, the best players on her team, not only had to play in Europe, they also played in the WNBA season, and they also went overseas. Like, I don't know if you guys ever travel overseas, but that plane lag, the legs, trying to get your legs back, trying to recover. There is no recovery. They went straight from Olympics to the WNBA season. And another thing you got to think about that, like, these women are a little bit older. And see, this comes down to that fundamental thing about biology. I'm an XY guy or X chromosome, Y chromosome type of guy. So biology has a certain way that it manifests itself through physiology. And what most guys don't understand, or most women don't understand, is that as a man, you hit another level of strength, agility, and things when you're like an active person called like your grown man strength, where you learn how to sit in gravity, move your body. You know how to eat better, train better. You know how to do everything better because you're like built to last longer. We're more physical than our counterparts, our women counterparts. Women are quite the opposite when it comes to like sports. They break down easier and faster because biologically they are not made to be able to endure the same like pounding year round on the knees, on the ankles. They don't have the same ligaments. They don't have the same muscle structure. So a girl is going to be in her prime athleticism, like in her, from like 16, or like, actually I take that back, from like really, because girls mature faster. They're going to be in their prime, like physical condition from like 14, 15 to about 24. That's when a woman's going to be as fit and as strong as she's ever going to be. And usually during that time period, you're supposed to have babies and you get pregnant and you can push out babies and you can recover from the pregnancy easier. That's why Pregnancy later on in life is a lot more dangerous. But with the what you call it, with the case for most of these girls and the Vegas girls is they're a little bit older in age, and on top of playing in European seasons, then it's not like their first year. So they played college, they played WNBA, Europe, WNBA, Europe, and they're traveling. And those things, they're taking buses, they're taking regular planes. That's the other thing people don't understand about the travel. That's just why Caitlin Clark was such a big impact when it came to the WNBA, because they finally got private planes, charter planes, where they're not flying coach or they're playing economy to get to games, so they can stretch their legs out more, they can do a little bit more. But that's a recent development. Most of these girls, they haven't been doing that for almost the better part of the decade. They have been traveling overseas by just economy to go there to play basketball for like money, because they have to play for money because they're hoopers. So if they're not playing basketball for money and they don't have endorsement deals, they're not going to eat. So they have to play year round. That's a lot of wear and tear in the body. Like imagine an NBA season where they have to play an off-season tournament. No, those guys are chilling. They don't do anything. They just try to recover. A lot of these women are not getting a chance to recover. So they're essentially playing NBA seasons with way more travel, way more jet lag, and it's breaking the body down. So Caitlin Clark and her crew of Ragtag Fever are going to come through fresh leg, new unity, sparked up, because I can almost bet the house Angel Reese is going to win the Rookie of the Year. I can almost guarantee you. And when Caitlin Clark, because right now I think she's averaging a double-double. She's getting better every game. She's figuring out these girls. Now she's losing the fear of these girls. Because once again, in the All-Star game, she was the best girl. And she was, 10, 15 games in? So now they're 30 games into the season, and she's recording triple-doubles. She has more triple-doubles than 99% of NBA players of all time. Of all the NBA players, like, what are we talking about? This is a phenom. Dude. And now that other girl, Mitchell, is starting to come into her own. So she might have been a good player, but she was on a bad team because she has nobody to create a shot for her. Like, she's kind of a shooter, whatever the hell she does. But now she has new confidence. Her other teammates have new confidence because she's sharing the ball. They're starting to realize, because there's also the human element of the team, which is they thought Caitlin was going to come in there and just be a big star because they don't know Caitlin. They don't know who she is. And they're seeing all this publicity about her, and they're thinking the humbleness is fake and so forth and so forth. And they're realizing, no, she's really just a nice girl that likes playing basketball. She just enjoys playing basketball, and that joy is contagious amongst your teammates. Like, that's the thing that nobody ever analyzes. Like in war, team sports, morale. Anybody who's ever played basketball at pickup basketball, and you play with the guy who plays hero ball, or the guy who ball hogs and he takes all the shots and he doesn't play defense and he yells at everybody, you hate playing with that guy. He just brings the entire team down. Like, you're almost like, you know what? I will take a worse player that passes the ball and is less selfish than dealing with this guy who's a better shooter, because he just makes the game not fun to play. He kills the game for us. So now they're starting to believe in Caitlin. They're looking at Caitlin like, yeah, she's the leader. The coach has already stepped down like, hey, look, that's the leader here. Let her run. And I'm telling y'all right now, man, nobody wants to believe me. Everybody thinks I'm joking. Caitlin Clark is winning the championship. She's winning a championship. And then what she does from there is going to be more shocking in the next video.